Good morning. How are y'all feeling this morning? That was a little lackluster. How are y'all feeling this morning? Hey, there we go. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Toronto. I'm Jonathan Zenz. I'm the spiritual director here. Great to have you join us this morning. What do you say we start off this morning by letting love rule?
Gentle as a rose, and love can conquer any war. It's time to take a stand. Brothers and sisters, join hands. We got to let love rule. Let love rule. We got to let love rule. We've got to let love rule. We got to let love rule. We've got to let love rule. Love transcends all space and time. And love a little child smile, yes you will. Oh, can't you see? Can't you see? This won't go wrong. Oh, but we gotta be strong. We can't do it alone. We gotta let love rule. We gotta let love rule. We gotta let love rule. We've gotta let love rule. We gotta let love rule. We gotta let love rule. Come on,
Yes, indeed. We've got to let love rule. That is the theme of my life right now. We've got to let love rule. Yes, we come together as a spiritual community every Sunday morning to understand one thing and one thing only, and that is that right where we are is the infinite power and presence of a creative source and energy, and that energy is love. And so everything that exists is born from this energy of love. We are all part of it, and guess what? We get to use it for our own purposes to make our lives better. And that's what we teach here, that we let love rule so that we can make our lives better. Sound like a good thing?
Yeah.
Awesome. Yes. Do you need this, Helen? Oh, okay. All right. Just checking. To launch us into our inspired wisdom this morning is our practitioner of the day, who is a dear friend of mine who I came to know about 5 years ago exactly, face to face. And I'm so grateful for the friendship that we have developed and for the journey that I've got to experience her being on, from being a practitioner intern when I first met her through now being a minister within this philosophy. Please welcome for our inspired practitioner wisdom of the day, Reverend Helen Bello.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, good morning. Good morning. So, wow, what a week it's been. It was my birthday on Tuesday. Oh. Yeah, ha 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 ha, joke's on me. And, you know, it's so funny because I kept saying, okay, well, whatever shows up is a reflection of what's going on in my mind. And what do I need to clean up in my own mind? Because anything that I experience and see out here is a reflection of me. Careful what you say. Because here's how my week unfolded. So in every area of my life, and we talk about the 4 areas of our life: relationship, finances or prosperity, health, and creative expression. In all 4 areas, stuff showed up. And I went, really? Is this an indication of what my year is going to be like? Like, no. What it is this divine opportunity to get so clean and clear about what was going on for me, those little nigglies, those little things, you know, when one thing happens and another thing happens and another thing happens. I'm like, oh my gosh, like stop the bus, stop it. And it had nothing to do with out there. It was like, okay, Spirit, thank you so much. Thank you so much for showing me what I need to clean up. So in all areas of my life, this is my year to stand in value. That's what I got clear on, is value. How do I value myself? And how do I value all these aspects of my life? Because value is a currency, right? What is the vibration that I'm going to resonate at? And so I'm increasing my value. And that was, you know, I had to step into some places this week and say, excuse me, no, that's not enough for me. Because I know who I am. And I'm worth more. So I did that on many levels in my life. Not always easy. I was shaking sometimes afterwards. But yet, it's so liberating because when I get really clear in my own mind about who I am, and I know that, and I embody it and place my faith in the understanding that I am infinite spirit, I am divine light, and I am choosing to resonate at that high currency, that high level of vibration, and I place my faith in knowing that this is who I am, and therefore, as my word is spoken and I say, it's not enough, I'm more. The law must make it so. It must come into form. And that's exactly what happened. It was really cool. I'm like, hey, this stuff works. It's good. It's good. I want to read something to you from a chapter in Living the Science of Mind. And the chapter is Let Us Not Fool Ourselves. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So, one of the chief offices of spiritual mind healing is to relieve the mind of fear, to compose the thought and permit it to reflect the deep inner feeling that comes from the conscious union with spirit. Science and religion should walk hand in hand in the accomplishment of this purpose. We have no one to denounce and nothing to antagonize. Seeking cooperation with all, we should endeavor to relieve the mind of the burden of fear, doubt, and uncertainty. All of these attitudes could be wrapped up in one package and labeled a lack of faith in ourselves, in each other, and in life. So where are we going to place our faith? Let's go back into truth, into spirit, and let's clean up our own minds, you know? We probably all have some work to do there, and that's okay. That's part of the journey. But the more that we can bring that into the light, bring the darkness into the light, the darkness doesn't exist. So my affirmation for today is, I am a commitment to the unity in my own mind. So I invite you to say that out loud. We'll say it twice. I am a commitment to the unity in my own mind. Woo. Woo. I know, I just saw you jump there, Christy. One more time. I am a commitment to the unity in my own mind. Namaste.
Thank you, Helen. I am a commitment to the unity in my own mind. Let's take that to heart, truly. Allow ourselves to be resonant in that heart space, thinking down in the here and now to that deepest understanding of goodness, of light, of love. Breathing into this, we affirm the good. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. Let's sing that together. I am a light. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. And so let's take this moment of openness and receptivity to allow ourselves to resonate with these words of affirmative prayer from Helen.
Let's breathe in the light. Breathe in the light. And allow this light to dispel fear, uncertainty, scarcity, and anything else that does not serve us. For those are circumstances out there, it is never the truth, for there is only one truth. And that truth is that there is an energy that is creative, that is beautiful, that is loving, that is benevolent, that is of all life, of everything that is unseen and seen. There is that spark of love within, that spark of spirit. So coming back into our own minds, right here, right now, together, as one united community of truth, of light, of love, of power and beauty and grace and wisdom and unity, I say, then anything is possible. Everything is possible. And so in knowing that this is who and what we are spirit. We breathe it, we live it, we speak it, we experience it, and we create it. We create it. And so, let's get clear in our minds about what we are willing to create. And let us step into the possibilities that there is love experienced everywhere. There is abundance experienced everywhere, and health and beauty and togetherness and community and support. And I accept nothing less than this currency, for I understand the value, the infinite value of love. And I know that as my word is spoken, it is done. For the law, this creative, expansive, infinite law, must make it so. So I focus my mind on truth despite anything. And then I let go. I let go and I surrender into the divine, trusting and knowing that all of life is unfolding perfectly in divine order, because divine order is heaven's first law. So I release, I let go, and together we say, and so it is.
Let's know for all our brothers and sisters, whether they're in the room or far away, you are a light. You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world. You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world. And you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright. And you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright. We are a light. We are a light, we are a light, we are a light in this world. We are a light, we are a light, we are a light in this world. And we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright. And we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright. We shine, we shine, we shine, we shine. Woo! Do you feel the energy? Do you feel the electricity? There's something about that song when we sing that song as a community. It's beyond words for me. It is beyond words for me. Before we sing this song, while Tanis is taking care of that 15-page chart over there, I want us to take to heart a particular idea today. And so I want to read a quote from Joseph Campbell, which I think is very apropos to what's happening in the world and what we can glean and take from this philosophy to express in the world. He writes, "The principle of compassion is that which converts disillusionment into a participatory companionship. This is the basic love, the charity that turns a critic into a human being who has something to give to as well as demand of the world." I'm going to read it again to let it sink in. "The principle of compassion is that which converts disillusionment into a participatory companionship. This is the basic love, the charity that turns a critic into a human being who has something to give to as well as demand of the world." The song we've chosen today, brought it before, and it seems like it is a necessary song today. It is by our good friend Karen Mitchell, Reverend Karen Mitchell, who has performed here and is a minister at the Global Truth Center in Los Angeles. But let's affirm today that peace is possible.
To all those who say that peace is just a fantasy, that people are born to disagree, I say start by bringing peace to your own family and watch it spread beyond where you can see. To all those who say our differences are far too great, that people always need an enemy, I say start by bringing love to your community and then change the way you think about everyone you see. 'Cause peace is possible when we sing our song together. Peace is possible when we let love lead the way. Peace is possible when we reach out to each other. I know peace is possible today. To all those who say the world's too big for me to change, that one little life can't matter much, I say we all have the power of the universe, and then all we have to be is the change we want to see. 'Cause peace is possible when we sing our song together. Peace is possible when we let love lead the way. Peace is possible when we reach out to each other. I know peace is possible today. And if I'm dreaming, what a wonderful dream to share. Let's keep dreaming, 'cause reality's waiting there. Peace is possible when we sing our song together. Peace is possible when we let love lead the way. Peace is possible when we reach out to each
Queen Street Band. I think what the world needs in association with peace is compassion. This is expressing itself greatly through the activity of the world right now. But there's one of my peers in this movement is Reverend Dr. Jim Lockhart, who was the spiritual director at the Simi Valley Center for Spiritual Living. Until he retired, he now travels the world with his wife in retirement, and I mean, literally, like, travels the world. Like, every time I'm on Facebook, I see him going to some new country, he's living a magnificent experience in that regard. He maintains his connection in spirit with the world in terms of what's coming up through him to inspire and to express through a blog, which I read not all the time, but I read it occasionally. And that Joseph Campbell quote was what he wrote. It was one of the things he put on his blog this week. And it's very appropriate to today's theme, the theme of this entire month, the month of November. The theme is wholeness, and really connecting to that inner sense of wholeness that we all are inherently a part of, although sometimes we forget. We forget. You know, it happens, we forget. It happens to me occasionally, less so now than it did back in the past. But wholeness is that deepest, I believe, consciousness of compassion. When we truly understand that we are one, that we live in a unified whole, each and every one of us, there is no great, there is no small, there is simply the perfect equality of all expressions of life, right here and right now. We are all on an equal playing field. There are those who would make you believe that that's not the case, that there's, levels of beingness, and I don't hold to that. I don't hold to that. When I look out and see the faces of every single person that I encounter, I see one thing and one thing only. I see the face of the divine love that each and every person is inherently. But you know what? I had to train myself to do that. This was not a given, because I spent a lot of time growing up being told something else, being taught something else, and I came to believe it on some level, whether at the level of my awareness or below the level of my awareness. I came to believe it. And so I had to step back and really go into that self-awareness space and evaluate, is what I have come to believe the truth? And what I have discovered is, in many cases, what I have come to believe as a fact is not in fact a fact. It is not the truth. It is simply a belief. And I get to be in charge of my beliefs. I get to change my beliefs. And so what do I choose to believe now? I choose to believe in the greatness and goodness of all people, regardless of how they show up in the circumstantial world, regardless of the evidence that is put before me. I recognize and know that all people are inherently good, and all people are inherently living a life that they think is good. So let's take that to heart today, because this is allowing me to live in that place of compassion that sometimes is really freaking hard. When we practice generating compassion, this is Pima Chodron. When we practice generating compassion, we can expect to experience the fear of our pain. When we practice generating compassion, we can expect to experience the fear of our pain. We teach a law of cause and effect. And whatever is happening in our mind, this is the basic fundamental principle of what we teach. Whatever is happening in our mind is what we attract into our experience. It's called the law of cause and effect, right? The mind is cause to whatever effects are showing up out in the world. In my life, I am cause to everything in my life. And so, sometimes when I'm going to that place of compassion, I am addressing the fear that is in my own mind, and it may lead to a painful experience. And I'm discovering, okay. It's okay. We can have these painful experiences. You know why? Because we have the capacity also to address them as they come up. We don't need to live in the fear and the pain. We have minds. We get to use our minds for the good of this universe, for the good of our own experience of life. And so when I recognize that fear showing up, and it will show up, especially if you don't tend to your own mind, it will show up and it will seem unexpected. And you may step back and go, well, where the heck did that come from? It'll show up, but you have a mind. We all have a mind that we get to use to turn it around. And that is the greatest gift we have been given. We have been given a gift of choice in terms of how we show up in the world, what we are thinking, what we are believing. This gift of choice also allows some people to choose the other side of that equation. So what do you do when that shows up? Gosh, that's tough. What do you do when that shows up? You move to that compassion within your own heart, the deepest understanding that they too are an expression of the deep love that created each and every one of us. Compassion practice is daring. This is a continuation of the Pema Chodron quote. Compassion practice is daring. It involves learning to relax and allow ourselves to move gently toward what scares us. The trick to doing this is to stay with emotional distress without tightening into aversion. Really hear that. It involves learning to relax and allow ourselves to move gently towards what scares us. The trick to doing this is to stay with emotional distress without tightening into aversion. Let fear soften us rather than harden into resistance. That's living with a compassionate heart. Living with a compassionate heart. I like it too. The theme of the theme that's been offered by the Centers for Spiritual Living as we continue our year-long exploration that many of the centers are going through is today's topic is we believe that heaven is within us and that we experience it to the degree that we become conscious of it. We believe that heaven is within us and that we experience it to the degree that we become conscious of it. So first of all, we utilize a term that is utilized in particular faith traditions, and so it may be misunderstood. Heaven is not a place. Heaven is not a place we're going to after we die. We don't teach that here. What we teach is that heaven is a conscious idea, and heaven is possible right here and right now. The experience of heaven is possible right here and right now, but we must come to that place of deep understanding and consciousness of it to experience it. Yeah. So, I have a question to ask, and I ask it of myself, and I invite you to ask it of yourself. At what point do we decide to live in this idea? If something isn't working in our lives, we must change it. At what point do we decide to live with that idea? If something isn't working in our lives, we must change it. I've been faced with a lot of opportunities for change past week. I've been faced with a lot of opportunities in the circumstances of life that are coming up and saying, you must pay attention to this, and you must do something about it. And you know what? If I don't do something about it now, as I recognize that it's happening, I guarantee you it's going to come and knock me over the head even harder the next time. You ever have that experience? And then you can look back and you can see all the tracks of everything that lined up and was begging for your attention. When we recognize that something must be changed in our lives because it isn't working for us, when do we make the decision to live in that idea? When do we actually say, great, I recognize it, now I'm going to do something about it? I'll tell you the answer. There is nothing except this moment now. Nothing else exists. So if you're not changing it now, You're never changing it. Why are we waiting? What are we waiting for? What are we waiting for? One of the things that has come up for me this week, and actually, my mentor and colleague, James Mellon, I had a very great conversation with him this week because, he's experiencing change, and change is all around. Change is all around. I had a chat with him this week about one of the things that's come up for me. And, one of the things I realized, wow, I had to, I am going to put it like this. I had a come to Jesus moment. I really did. I had a come to Jesus moment this week. And here's what it is. I have said frequently that if we live in the consciousness of being a victim, we will attract perpetrators into our experience. Have you ever heard me say that before? Right? If we have the consciousness of being a victim, we will attract perpetrators into our experience. Here's the come to Jesus moment. If I am living the consciousness of being a perpetrator, I will attract victims into my life. I have shivers in considering that. I really do. Because that came through this week, through this conversation that I had with James, I looked at that and I went, oh, wow. I can see all the places where I have allowed myself to live in the consciousness of being a perpetrator, and look at what I attracted into my experience. Which in many ways, because I've also had the victim consciousness. I've lived on both sides of this equation. And it's a balance. I mean, we have to look at that. Are we living the victim mentality? Are we living the perpetrator mentality? And why don't we just get rid of both of them so that we're all living within this unified wholeness of love and light and nothing else? Wow. Talk about a moment. Talk about a moment. We believe that heaven is within us, and this is the key, and that we experience it to the degree that we become conscious of it. When it shows up in your face and you have that illumined moment, take charge of the moment. Take charge of your mind. That's what we teach. We teach how to utilize the mind, to train the mind, so that we can live better lives. But I also want to address the idea of heaven again in this regard. Since it's not some place we're getting to, there is no destination. This is simply an infinite journey that we're all on, which can be depressing. Because oh my gosh, am I going to have to live through this through infinity? Come on. Infinity and beyond. There comes a point where we have to say, no, I'm going to live in love only. I'm going to live in love only. We have adopted as our vision statement, love only, forgive everything, remember who you are. Love only, forgive everything, remember who you are. The profoundness of that ideology has really taken hold of me, especially in the circumstances this week. And you may all think that I'm talking, you may think I'm talking about the election. I'm actually not talking about the election at all. I'm talking about other circumstances that I've experienced in my life this week, although I know a lot of people are really focused on the election. I'm not going to talk about the election. That's the only election talk you're hearing from me today. Yeah. But here's the resolution to all of it. Love only, forgive everything, remember who you are. Because when I remember who I am, I remember who everyone else is. They go hand in hand. They cannot be separate. Okay, I lied. I lied. No, because one of the as a spiritual leader, actually, I will go to what I said last week. As a spiritual giant, because I'm going to own it. I'm going to own it. As a spiritual leader, it is very difficult to look at what's happening in the world and come to a place of resolution. And yet people come to the spiritual leader to say, what, huh? I mean, literally, I've had that conversation. Huh? And the answer came to me this week. You may, if you follow me on Facebook, you will have seen this post. The answer came to me this week through this quote of Tony Kushner in Angels in America. It's in the epilogue of the play, which actually, and I think it's a. God, I'm really emotional. It feels like a good full circle moment, because Angels in America is the play that I was working on that took me to the NoHo Arts Center for the very first time. And so the fact that this came to mind, it just feels right. In the epilogue of the play, the character of Prior Walter, who has had quite an experience going to heaven and meeting with angels and thinking he's a prophet, he says this: "The world only spins forward. We will be citizens. The time has come. Bye now. You are all fabulous creatures. And I bless you. More life. The great work begins. Great work begins. The great work begins right here for each and every one of us. Go to where your heart leads you. Allow yourself to be moved in the way your heart leads you. That deepest expression of compassion and love. Because this is how we address what we see happening in our world, whether it's on a national, international, world scale, or in our own private life. The only thing, the only work to begin right here and right now is to live love. It is time. It is time, right now, to unify in love. It can never be outsourced. We cannot say, oh great, why don't you take care of it? Or why don't you take care of it? No, if you, and I'll tell you what, if you come to me and say, Jonathan, you're the spiritual leader, why don't you take care of it? I'll say, I can do it for myself. But if I teach nothing else, I will teach this. It is up to each and every one of us to live it. When we live this loving presence, we live heaven. We live heaven. So let this community become that resonant space for spiritual greatness that we all exhibit and share. Let us step into pro-action from the consciousness of love. Let us take one. Let us take one. Consciousness of the one. The whole. The unified expression of life. Let us take one. Really live that. Really embody that. Really dive deep into that consciousness. I invite you right in this moment to give yourself permission to go deeper, deeper, and deeper into the one. When we allow ourselves to go to that place, perhaps through quiet contemplation, and we arise again from that space, like the sun rises in the morning, the sun will always rise. Every single day, every single morning, the sun will rise. Bringing its illumination, allow ourselves to be illuminated and allow ourselves to shine our own light. And then call upon that deep mental equivalent, the new mental equivalent, the new idea that has been embodied from this practice. Call upon that deep mental equivalent to shine light, love, peace, power, beauty, joy, wisdom. This is what we are called to be. This is who we are called to be. This is what we are put on this plane of experience to do, to be the light and to be the love. Let us move forth from that idea. I'm going to invite us to take out whatever it is we're offering the center today by means of our financial contribution, our investment, our tithe, whatever we call it. Recognize it for what it is. It is an activity of love. I choose to give because I am compelled from my heart to give to this place which gives so much back to me. And I am grateful for this. As we contemplate this idea, let us recite together the words of affirmative giving, which are on your song sheet. If you'd like to look and read along with us, we'll read together. Here we go. Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless. It is evidence of my conviction that spirit is the source and substance of my supply. I joyously contribute to the vision of my spiritual center, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so as the baskets go around, we're going to do this song, this Karen Drucker tune, and it has hand movements. You'll catch on. Oreo, jazz hands.
Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. 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 Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me. Gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. 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 I'm so grateful.
I'm going to invite Helen up with our offering today so she can do a blessing.
So grateful for all that we receive and all that we give. And it is this law of giving and receiving that creates a currency and energy and abundance, an expansion of all life, an expansion of this center, an expansion of our hearts. And so, thank you for all that we have received today, here in the baskets, from everyone online. I know that the Board of Trustees honors, respects, and cherishes this and uses all of these gifts for the betterment of this center, the betterment of our community, and the betterment of the world. And so, and knowing that everything is connected, that there is a wholeness, a unity, a oneness that is always happening, no matter what. Let us place our hands over our hearts and say, thank you. Thank you. I release my word. It is done. let it go and let this divine currency flow. And together we say, and so it is.
I'm so grateful. 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 I'm so grateful.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right.
Thank you. I need to get my sheet.
You get your sheet because I've got something else to offer right before you deliver the announcements, which
go
is
right
this.
ahead.
As you were coming in today and you were handed your package, you may have noticed a new item in your package, which is a prayer treatment request card. This is something that a lot of centers have taken and are starting to do in their centers, and I think it's one of the things that, for me, is an important aspect of what we do. In fact, it is the primary spiritual practice that we teach, that we engage in, is spiritual mind treatment, or also known as affirmative prayer. So here's what I'm offering. If there is something that you are working on, we're going to start doing this every single week. If there's something that you're working on, jot it down on this card. Jot it down on this card. Take the moment to do it right in this moment. Lori has pens. We'll pass a basket, and you can put your treatment requests into the basket. After the announcements, Margaret Ann, who is our meditation practitioner today, will do a quick prayer right over the cards as they exist right now. And here's what my commitment is to you. I will take all of those cards, and one by one, I will do my prayer work over them tomorrow as well. Does that sound like a good plan? And we're going to start doing this every single week. Because this is what we do. This is what we offer. And I think we will see the shift of this community, which is already a pretty high resonant community. So we're going to get even higher, which just sounds maybe inappropriate. Helen, why don't you come up and let us know what's happening at the center? We're getting higher.
Well, we can go higher with lots of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Well, lots of fun. Our tickets are on sale for our Deck the Halls with Love and Jolly Gala, which is happening on Thursday, December 15th, starring Jonathan Zenz and Elvira Hopper, who will provide us with some fabulous jazzy, Christmassy entertainment. We will also have a pianist and a bass player and a dessert bar and hors d'oeuvres and drinks and dancing upstairs. So there's a whole lot of fun that's going to happen that night. You can get your tickets now. They're $59 unless you're a benefits member, in which you get 10% off. Or if you would like to buy a package of tickets, you get an even bigger discount. So, and then you can bring all your friends and have a fabulous time that evening. And you can get all dressed up and shined up, and it'll be lots of fun.
And we're going to transform the center yet again, as we do. We're going to transform it into our little winter wonderland and have a lovely, lovely night.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's going to be lots of fun. Oh, and there'll be door prizes and draws and yeah. So anyways, that's that. We also have out in the front bookstore our giving tree. We support the Red Door Shelter. You can take one of the gift tags, purchase whatever is on that gift tag, bring it back to the center, please, and we will make sure it gets delivered to the Red Door in time for Christmas. And you have all of these on your bulletin, by the way, if you need some extra information. Just another gentle reminder about Sonia's amazing gratitude meditations on Facebook. They're free. You can go on Facebook, like our page. You'll get her daily meditation of gratitude. It ends November 24th. She said, oh my God, it's like 43 or 42.
46, I think.
46 days she is producing these meditations every day. So for the season of gratitude.
I'm grateful for her.
Oh
bringing
my
this to our
gosh,
community,
yes.
Which has been transformative.
And they're fantastic. 2 minutes, quick and easy. Our meditation practice continues on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. It's free for anyone who would like to attend. And we have our stewardship program running. We need your pledges by November 30th, please, so that we can plan the budget for 2017. It's the operating budget of the center. Out in the bookstore are forms available. There's different levels you can pledge at. It just really helps us to know how to put together our budget. So we appreciate you filling those out. Even if you're already a stewardship member, please fill out a new form. We need to refill those out every year. So thanks for that. And then just so you know, next Sunday is a board meeting. You're welcome to come and observe a board meeting if you would like to see what happens there.
Yes, and I will tell you, a late breaking change. We're going to start that board meeting at 1:30 rather than 1 o'clock because of a time issue with one of the items on the agenda. Anyway, you don't need to know the details of that. Just know it says 1 o'clock. That meeting will actually start at 1:30.
Late breaking news, folks.
Yes.
And that's it. I'm good.
You're good?
I'm good. Are you good?
I am good.
You've said everything for announcements you need?
I think so.
I've said everything I need to
Yes.
say?
Board meetings are held upstairs here at the center. And if you don't know that we have an upstairs, it's through this door and up the stairs. Yes.
And then there's a lovely renovated space for your
Yes.
pleasure.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
I'm going to invite Margaret Ann up. Oh, okay. We're going
Okay,
to.
this is going to be popular.
This
you
is
know
gonna
that.
be- I
It's
know.
so good to do because, having
Actually,
treatment
so
said.
as these are happening, here's what I want to offer with respect to you making your claim right here and right now. That the truth is, you making this request, the work is already done. The work is done. You have now set your intention into the universal law that says yes, yes, yes to what it is you choose to experience right here and now. The work that we do as the practitioner and the minister is to simply concretize it, to know in our own mind, on behalf of you, that this work is done. But if you have truly made the decision by stating your claim, live it, and so it is. All right, they're continuing to pour in. You ready? Here's the deal. We're going to do the treatment. Come on up. We're going to do the treatment. If there's any last-minute ones that you want to put in, just know that they are included in this treatment as well. I will hold this, and you can hold this. And yes.
I would like to say that I am touched by the outpouring. Knowing that these questions are part of the love equation of the answers already in place. The revealing of the answer is in each of us. The revealing of the answer is love. It is who we are. It is what we are. It is the magic. It is the spirituality. It is the science. All is love. And to know that each of us is this divine being, this divine expression, knowing that these questions are revealed as answered. Just knowing this, understanding that this is God in expression. I feel the gratitude of each and every person, whether their question was written down or is still in their mind and in their hand. It's all answered. In gratitude that there is only love. In gratitude that there is only this healing energy that is in each of us expressing. In gratitude for life itself, the vitality and the openness of sharing. In gratitude, I release this word to the law, knowing that it is already done, opening to receive and to share. And together we say, and so it is.
Thank you. The work is done. The work is done. We'll set these on the altar. Moment. Part of the emotion of my week has been that we lost an artistic and spiritual giant this week. And we all have our transitions. We all have our transformations. And I trust and know that Leonard Cohen is on his next perfect evolutionary step. He's bringing the great joy that he has brought to this experience of life into the next experience of life. And so we're singing one of his songs. Obviously, you may already recognize it. I looked up some information about this particular song because it's a poem, and poems can be a little obtuse. And if you really listen to the words of this poem, and we only do a few of the verses that are actually written in this song, it can be very confusing. I want to start off with this idea. What I found out is that hallelujah, alleluia, the idea, which is praise be to God, he was purposefully looking to take it out of a religious ideology, take it into the sacred, take it out of the religious ideology to bring it into the secular world, with the idea that when we give over to that great call within each and every one of us to be, that life does change. He was a very metaphysical man. And I found this quote that there's an expletive. I will give you fair warning. I am quoting him, and there is an expletive in this. It's an F-bomb. There's an expletive in these words of Leonard Cohen about this song. And it seems so appropriate today. The only moment that you can live here comfortably in these absolutely irreconcilable conflicts is in this moment when you embrace it all and you say, look, I don't understand a fucking thing at all. Hallelujah. That's the only moment that we live here fully as human beings. And so we honor Leonard Cohen today as we wrap up what it is we offer in service.
There was a secret chord David played and it pleased the Lord. But you don't really care for music, do ya? Well, it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, the major lift, the baffled king composing Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Your faith was strong, but you needed proof. Saw her bathing on the roof, her beauty in the moonlight overthrew ya. She tied you to her kitchen chair, she broke your throne and she cut your hair, and from your lips she drew the hallelujah. So I take this moment to live in the deepest recognition that there is only one power, one presence, one infinite, creative, revelatory, knowing idea an energy that is the love of the divine that is being expressed right here and right now by means of each and every one of us, by means of each and every person we encounter, by means of each and every person who is watching us online. There is only this one unified whole, and it is fully present, fully expressive right in this experience. And I live this understanding in each and every moment, knowing that I am cause to every effect in my life, that we are cause to every effect that we experience, and that in this understanding, that when something shows up that is not in alignment with what we would like it to be, we have the power to change it, and so we do, because we make the decision right here, in this moment. And in this moment. And in this moment. I know that all that has transpired here today, that has conspired for our greatness to shine forth, is good. And it leads us from this time and this place into the next and the next and the next and the next, and that we carry it fully, wholeheartedly, with love and light, that we live the deepest compassion with the understanding that all are created in deep perfection. So living this and understanding this and recognizing only this truth, I simply relax. I relax into it. I relax into that space of gratitude, allowing the soul, my personal soul space, to be filled with nothing but gratitude right now. This energy of gratitude revs up that engine of creation. And I know that all that follows is beautiful. I'm grateful for every single person who has made this experience the profound, sacred experience it is. I'm grateful to all our volunteers today, grateful for Linda and Judy, grateful for Sandra, grateful for Chris, Lori, and Jackie, and Christy, Mira, Brendan, Jim. Grateful to our music team. I'm grateful to Margaret Ann. And I'm grateful to Reverend Helen. And mostly I'm grateful to the contributions in consciousness from every single member of this community. In the room, online, wherever we are contributing to the consciousness of love. And for that, I live in the deepest space of gratitude. So I simply release this word, knowing it is complete, and the very speaking of it, it is so. I let it be so, and relax into this, as together we say, and so it is. You say I took the name in vain. I don't even know the name, but if I did, well, really, what's it to ya? There's a blaze of light in every word. It doesn't matter which you heard, the holy or the broken. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Take it quiet. Here we go. Let it be personal. Hallelujah. 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 Thank you all so much. And so let's take this hallelujah, let's take this love, and let's give it to the world. Because it's what is yours to give, right?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Take this energy into the street and live it every day.
walking around town. Have you heard the news? Well, apparently we all got free will. We all get to choose.
We all get to choose?
Hey, are you singing love songs? Or are you singing the blues? Well, now you got your way and I got mine. Well, we're all connected by the universal central line. It's attracting to us what we believe all of the time. Oh, so I'll give what I got to give. I'll give what I got to give with love. You know what? I'll give what I got to give what I got to give with love. I said I'll give what I got to give what I got to give with love. Well, it always brings the sun out, which breaks that dark cloud above. Well, now, hey there in the mirror, what's it gonna be? 'Cause you know, releasing the past, that will always set you free. And there's only love, it's plain to see, that can take away the pain and the misery. So I give what I got to give, I'll give what I got to give with love. You know what? I'll give what I got to give, I'll give what I got to give with love. Yeah. I said I'll give what I got to give what I got to give with love. Well, it always brings the sun out, which breaks the dark cloud above. Stephen, you got something to say? Apparently he does. If I think of how I'm feeling and it isn't quite appealing, there are two things that I can do. I can still play that game and feel the same, or put my foot in the other shoe. So give what I got to give what I got to give with love. You know, I give what I got to give what I got to give with love. Yeah. What I got to give what I got to give with love. Yeah. Well, it always brings the sun out, which brings the dark cloud above. It always brings the sun out, which breaks the dark cloud, which breaks the dark cloud, which breaks the dark cloud.